because oftentimes these remote discoveries have upfront capital costs, 500, 700 billion dollar capex.
What's the next, secret or step to investing and getting and be able to build wealth with gold or copper, zinc? Walk us through just kind of the basics here.
Well, I mean, first of all, you have to put yourself on a path of resource growth. I mean, that's what's going to drive shareholder appreciation, and that's what wealth creation in this can happen so quickly, because it's very, very hard to find a base metals mine, or any kind of mine for that matter. That's why they're so valuable when you do find them. And the key thing is, my mindset is you need to reduce risk. I mean, it's a very, very high risk inherently in exploration. We're very similar to a biotech business where you're doing a lot of research and development, but instead of curing cancer or any kind of disease, we're looking to make a discovery in a virgin area, greenfield exploration, so to speak. So the way we mitigate risks is going in the tier one jurisdiction. For example, we're not looking to explore in a very risky jurisdiction like Central Africa. Central Africa and the DRC is known to having some of the highest grade copper mines in the world, but it comes with a huge geopolitical risk. So we focus our portfolio in Flin Flon, Manitoba, is where we have this big discovery. It took a number of years to make, but again, it's right outside of a town called Flin Flon. So you're in a tier one jurisdiction. We have rule of law in Canada. And then again, we're not looking for remote. Remote is big upfront costs in terms of exploration costs are going to be much higher when you're going to have to helicopter people, the drills, the fuel to these remote locations. And then on the flip side of that, when you make a discovery, which is hard enough to do as is, to make a discovery that's economic when you're remote, you have much higher hurdles, because oftentimes these remote discoveries have upfront capital costs, 500, 700 billion dollar capex. So again, we're looking for discoveries within proximity infrastructure where it's going to be upfront, much lower capital costs to do the exploration. You're in an area where you have geologic pedigree. So again, it's when you found one mine, it's much easier to find another. So in the case of Flin Flon, you have all that. You have the infrastructure, you have the people, and right now you've got a finite timeline where they need a new discovery. So you have the community support, you have policyholder support behind you to fast track from a discovery to a production type of scenario. So that's how we look to mitigate risk in a very high risk environment that's inherent in the exploration business of mining.
Really fascinating. And I'm thinking like an apartment complex, you have a net operating income, right? You have the management, and you have utilities, and you have repairs and maintenance, and you have CapEx, and you have, all of these things, reserves. I mean, it's the same thing. It's a business model. And what you're saying is the key here is making sure that you're going into it with success on the exit as well as on the management of it. Because even if you find something, remote place, if you find it, the ability to get it out and to actually be able to make sense on the numbers to exit it is you have to, every little nook and cranny has to be considered, right?